Our starting point tonight, though, is further south in the continent. Foreign ministers from Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, they've spent the day in Pretoria discussing governance, multilateralism and trade. Now, that meeting comes ahead of the BRICS Leaders Summit in Johannesburg a little later in July. BRICS member states have agreed on joint action in several areas. Here's CGTN's Yolisa and Njamela starting us off tonight.
BRICS is the acronym for an association of 5 major emerging economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. These ministers are expected to lay the foundation for the annual summit of the grouping in Johannesburg next month.
The evolving world in which we live requires us to keep track with multifaceted and dynamic changes that are occurring. We are also beholden to our resolutions and ensuring that we realize them in this changing world.
Our group stands firm when we defend the basic principles of the UN Charter. First of all, the sovereign equality of states and the non-interference into internal affairs. We stick to the principles of indivisible security in all of its dimensions and the collective methods of crisis resolutions through political and diplomatic means.
The 2018 summit will be an important milestone for BRICS cooperation as it represents a decade of BRICS cooperation at the highest diplomatic level. South Africa is the current BRICS chair.
India attaches importance to the role of BRICS in consolidating intra-BRICS cooperation and in international affairs. I am more than confident under South Africa's able chairship, this initiative will be carried to new heights.
We need to deepen the cooperation, dig into new driver forces for growth, and focus on innovation. We need to stick to dialogue and consultation, deepen strategic mutual trust, and set an example of interstate relations. We need to be open and inclusive.
We stand out as a coalition committed to equipping global governance structures with the necessary means to deal with an increasingly complex world and complex challenges both in the economic and the political spheres.
The July summit will culminate in the adoption of the Johannesburg Declaration, which will include BRICS commitments for the year ahead. Yolisa and Njamela, CGTN, Pretoria, South Africa.